Hey, welcome back everybody. Today we're talking about the Wrought Iron Dragon King Zedlands deck. This was a deck that was recently supported in set 10, Divine Set 10. It's gotten like a stray card or two in the like off anime season decks, but nothing super substantial for the deck. But the new card's really good. The card they got in Festival Collection is really good, and this deck feels very playable and it's a fun deck and strategy overall. So if you like it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Uh, Plan for next week is probably we're just doing a Sunday video. I think the Wednesday one's gonna, because I'll be at work, is gonna have to wait until the week after, unless I get like some spare time on Thanksgiving, which I don't really think I will have. So we'll just go straight into this. So we have the Apprentice Smith Zedlands. I got this little guy at the team tournament as my promo pack. We got the Rising Smith, which is when he's placed on the grade 0, you're gonna look at top 5 for a wrought iron card, which is really cool. So you either grab your set order or you grab one of your important pieces. The grade 2 of the ride line, which is Wrought Iron Dragon Zedlands. His ability is when uh, the you ride on the grade 1, you get to search your deck for the set order. And lastly, we got the big guy himself. So when he's placed on the Vanguard circle, you can Soul Blast 1 to look for deck and drop. So very important discard fodder can be your set order for the set order and add it to your hand. And then his ability is when he attacks, he counterblast 1. He gets plus 10, which is really nice. And at the end of the battle, you can, if you've tapped the set order 3 times in the turn, you can restand him, but he'll lose all of his drive checks. So it's a restanding Vanguard. It's got puts out a decent bit of pressure, especially because they'll have 3 drive checks on the first attack. But there is a way to get the extra drive check back, which we'll get into when we get into the main deck. So we got 3 copies of the Persona Ride. Nothing really to say here. You know, you always want a Persona Ride. And our Regalis piece of choice, because we want to play set orders in this deck, is Twincast. Twincast is just, it's one of the best Regalis pieces you can play. Uh, Pretty much in any deck, to be honest. It's this one and the Fire Regalis. If you prefer the Fire Regalis in this deck, go ahead and play it. But I think Twincast is just better. Makes the deck a little more tanky. So we'll go for that. And we'll talk about the important set order for the deck, which is the Wrought Iron Workshop. Which, by the way, this card has like some really like nice art. Like this is this is definitely like a reason to build the deck or at least collect some of the cards because these guys have a lot of cool art. But basically, what this does, it's a grade 2 set order, so you can only start setting them on your second turn. You can tap this to give one of your guys +5, and if it has wrought iron in the name, so you don't have to always pick. Like you could pick. We have like 2 other cards in the deck that don't have wrought iron in the name. You have them on your board, you can pick them. But if it has wrought iron, in addition to the +5, it also gets 5k shield and intercept until your opponent's turn. So it basically turns any of your wrought iron pieces into free shield, which is pretty good against some decks like Minerva in the format. Technically Virgilla, if you don't like keep tapping this for the same card, you can just split it up and you'll have a unit that will at least get to keep one that has some shield value. But you can also pick your Vanguard, which is kind of cool, and something that you will do, which we'll get into when we talk into the grade 2s. So the MVP grade 2s of the deck, we'll talk about the Festival Booster one first, because this card kind of lets the deck accelerate. So when it's placed, you can either, well, first of all, if you have Zedlands or you have Cody Blaze as your Vanguard, this thing can boost, which is really cool. So it means you can kind of cut back on boosters in the deck because realistically you want to have like more what's the word? You want to have better beaters in the deck, and this is just a 10k booster, which is really nice. It has two different abilities. We're only going to talk about the ones that affect this deck specifically, which is on play, you can untap one of your set orders. So when you go onto your grade 3 turn, you'd only have two. You wouldn't be able to tap three to get the restand on your Vanguard. Now you can just play one of these, untap one, tap it again to give something +5, and you'll have the additional skill to get the restand because you've tapped three of the orders. And its last one, its last ability, you can do both if you have like two separate copies of this card on your field, but you're realistically only doing uh, the first one, which is you can if your Vanguard restands, you get them to discard a card and give it or set its drive back to one, which is kind of nice. So instead of Zedhlans only doing three checks and then doing no checks, Zedhlans does three checks and then one check for the cost of like a discard, which isn't bad. But if you have another one, you can also use the ability to discard a card from your hand and give your front row +5, which is kind of nice. And then the new card that we just got is not exactly where I want you. I want you a little more up. This is the Wrought Iron Soldier Dragon. This guy's really cool. Like, again, this deck has a lot of cool art, but I like his art a lot. So if your Zedlands is picked for the ability of the set order, you can Energy Blast 3 to call this card back from the drop zone, which is it's super cool. So you can, this is also your discard fodder along with the set order of the deck, but he also has a once per turn, which is really good and helps you spread a lot of power, which is if this card gets picked for the set orders ability, you get to give +5 to your Vanguard. So this realistically, I like having two of these in the front row, and then one of these in the back because that's just the best setup you can have. If you have two orders, you give each of these +5. That'll give the Vanguard an extra 10 because you pick two of them. You have the thing that gives it the drive back. It's a really nice card overall. These are definitely like the MVPs of your deck. So the quicker you find them, the better. We got 4 copies of Lightning Surge Dragon. This guy is kind of older. He's not the best, but I do like having the extra name, so I'm fine with it. So what he does is, if he's picked by the ability of the set order, you get to give him pretty much resist, so your opponent can't mess with him, which is really nice. And the other ability is when he attacks, you can counterblast 1, and if something was picked by the ability, you get to draw a card or counterblast and draw a card, which is it's nice. Realistically, Zedlands is the only one that uses counterblast in this deck besides him, so it's kind of if you have it, you may as well go in and try to draw more cards off of it. And the last two grade 2s I'm playing is I'm playing one copy of the Ace unit. So the Raw Iron Soldier Dragon that I showed off, he does most of your energy costs, but every once in a while you have a little extra, so you can like, especially going second, so you can just call this during the early game and blast 3 to kill something, draw a card. It's not bad. It's really not bad. Um, and then 4 copies of her. So she is if it's discarded during the riot phase or placed on the rear guard, you show that you have a Vanguard with Persona Ride either on field or in your ride deck, and you get to add a Persona ticket, which is the 10k Shield Blitz order. Um, Realistically, the deck doesn't care about Soul too much. There's a couple cards that want it, but it's not enough to like not warrant playing this because you kind of want as much shield value as you can get. This deck is a little more tanky. And then the grade 1 count that we have is a little low. but it's okay. So we have the Dancing Princess of Resonating Rock. So the thing about her is she does not have the Raw Iron name. Neither do the last five or a couple cards we showed, right? The Ace Unit and the Cycle Ticket Girl. But she does what the deck really wants, which is on play you can either counterblast one to grab a set order from deck, so to guarantee that you have one, or you can Soul Blast one, and if you already have two of them on your field, you get to search your deck and add one. She's also a 15k booster, which is really nice as long as you have two or more set orders. It's overall really nice. Can't complain about it. Uh, it's just kind of a consistency piece where we can get it. And lastly, we have one last raw iron. It is Hadid, and Hadid is not great. I'm going to be honest with you here, but so if he's picked by the ability, you get to soul charge one, uh, which is kind of nice. It comes up sometimes, but not very often. But the main thing is he can get you back at the end of a battle. He boosts. He can get you back a counter blast, which is really nice. Honestly, this last spot in the deck was really hard for me to figure out how to fit in. So it was either him or the grade 3, and I'm gonna be honest, like I'd rather play a card that has 5k shield value just by existing rather than one that I have to waste tapping my order on to get shield value. So this card is fine for now. And lastly, like don't laugh guys, but I can't find two of my perfect guards, so we're just rocking we're rocking four perfect guards. Again, I just couldn't find the other ones, but nothing super crazy, very straightforward. The trigger lineup in this deck, the big suggestions I could say, the first is drag Veda as a trap. Just play one of the nationless ones. I'm picking the blue, so you can give your Vanguard a crit, which is really nice, and you can get a card back. Red also works in here. Purple's whatever, and if you really want to go the tanky route, you can pick the yellow OT just so you draw a bunch of cards. But I feel like this deck has a bit of an issue with decking out if you keep going, so maybe not yellow. So it's either red or blue, and I think extra crit on Vanguard is fine. Speaking of crits, you know we're playing 8 copies of crits. It's just the best thing you can do when playing standard, or pretty much any format of Vanguard, to be honest. um, we're playing effect fronts. I'm playing the ones that go to soul. So in testing so far, there's been like one or two games where I've been like, oh, I kind of wish I had the extra soul, which is why I have this in here. But you could also just play the effect fronts, and you can, you know, the shield ones, and you can just move on. And lastly is the four little dinosaur, the four heals. Yeah, it's not the most, how do I put it? Not the most innovative trigger lineup for this deck. It's kind of straightforward. You don't really care about the draw triggers in this deck, and that is it for that one. So really, again, really quick profile. Nothing super crazy. Just trying to get this all done before the holidays. So I'll catch you guys in the next one, and see you soon. Bye.